"What were you thinking when I first started my channel?" I threw that question out, and he answered without missing a beat. "Honestly, I predicted you'd get around 20 to 30 million subscribers in your first month, which would have been impressive enough. But you went and hit 60 million. Before you, the monthly growth record was 20 million. We set that ourselves. So when I saw 60 million, I was completely stunned. That was just over the top. Then how long did it take you to reach 60 million subscribers yourself?" I pressed. He smiled and said, "About 13 years, I think. Yeah, that's how long it took." "So, do you think I have a chance to surpass you someday?" He thought about it seriously for a moment, then replied, "That really depends on which direction you take next. If you start inviting other top footballers to appear on your show, or if you sit down and commentate on your own most iconic career moments, I think those kind of videos would be huge hits. Once you find your groove, you can definitely create viral content, but not the kind you've done before. And honestly, I'm not aiming to break your record. You already have 1 billion followers across all platforms. But my goal is to hit 1 billion subscribers on YouTube. I know this isn't something you rush. It's going to take a long time. We're currently at 320 million. I turned to him and asked, "Do you ever watch my YouTube channel?" "Of course I do. What do you think?" He shot back with a look that said it all. I continued, "I get it. You're still an active player with a ton of things going on, so I think you're already doing a great job. In my opinion, your biggest strength is that anybody, no matter how famous, would be happy to shoot a video with you. That means you can plan all sorts of awesome collaborations, just like the one we're doing today. You could even get Tom Brady to drop by for a guest appearance and talk sports. And you should definitely reach out to other top celebrities. Also, here's a super simple idea that might work really well. After every important match, just grab a microphone and record a short 5-minute podcast, sharing your honest thoughts on the game. It's very low effort, but millions of people will be dying to know, what were you thinking in that moment? You know what I mean?" At that point, I glanced at his team behind him and had a sudden flash of inspiration. "Bro, imagine this. Cristiano Ronaldo makes a video where he watches and comments on his top 10 career goals. How huge would that be? Take that bicycle kick of yours. I've seen the replay at least 100 times. I'm genuinely curious. At that exact moment when you decided to go for that kind of shot, what was going through your mind? That kind of content would blow up instantly. So my advice is, don't overthink it. Fans just want to see football-related stuff, because that's the whole reason they love you in the first place." I then asked him another milestone question. "When your total followers across all platforms crossed the 1 billion mark, how did you feel about it?" As the most followed person on the planet, his reaction was surprisingly calm. "It's a great achievement, but I wasn't really surprised. I know very well how passionate my fans are about me, about football, about my career, so it didn't shock me. Of course I'm happy, but surprised? Not really. I feel exactly the same way." I chimed in, "Every time I hit a new milestone, my inner reaction is just, cool. So what's next?" People around me always say, you should celebrate. But I think, why stop the party when we still want to keep pushing forward and set new records? He nodded, fully agreeing. Then I switched the conversation to some practical YouTube tips. On YouTube, when a video gets recommended to users, you see that little preview image. That's the thumbnail. I've picked up a few tricks in that area, so let me share some with you. He immediately leaned in with interest. Usually, you put a close-up of your face on the thumbnail. But here's a key point. When you take those photos, keep your mouth closed. I used to do open-mouth expressions, but viewers really didn't like it. They said it looked cringy. So it's better to keep your lips together. Take some clear, high-quality headshots, and let your team put them on the thumbnails. "Ah, got it," he said thoughtfully. I added, "Of course, you still need to show some emotion or expression on your face. Like this." I demonstrated. But don't go overboard, or it'll feel forced, especially when so many people are watching. I cracked a joke and quickly moved on. All right, enough kidding. Let's get to the next question. Which country or region do you think has the craziest and most passionate fans? I asked curiously. Without a doubt, South America, he answered firmly. Every time we go there, things go completely wild. I remember once in Chile, we were staying in a hotel, and the fans surrounded the whole building and started knocking on every single door. I bet you've had your share of crazy experiences like that too. We ended up having to evacuate that hotel. I've even been kicked out a few places because the lobby was packed with fans and it disrupted normal operations. That mostly happens in South America. In the U.S., fans tend to be more laid back and restrained. I'm not exactly sure why. Maybe because international celebrities or creators like us don't visit South America very often. So when we do show up, it's a really big deal for them. Where are you living now? I asked. North Carolina, a small town called Greenville. The schools there are pretty good. So, what was your first reaction when my channel went live? I tossed that question at him, and he answered straight away. Honestly, I thought you'd manage maybe 20 to 30 million subs in your opening month, which would have been solid, but you came out with 60. The record before, that was 20 million in a single month, and we were the ones who held it. So when you hit 60, I was blown away. Completely nuts. How many years did it take you to get to 60 million? I followed up. He laughed. Roughly 13 years. Yeah, that's the timeline. Do you see me catching up to you one day? He paused to think. That depends on what you choose to do next. If you bring in other big-name footballers to collaborate, or if you start doing reaction videos to your own best plays, I think that would smash it. Once you get into a good flow, you can make some outstanding content, though not the same style you're used to. And to be honest, I'm not looking to take your crown. You've got 1 billion across all platforms. My personal dream is 1 billion YouTube subscribers. I know that's a long road. We're at 320 right now. I turned to him. Have you actually seen my YouTube channel? Of course, what do you think? I went on, look, I know you're still playing professionally and your schedule is packed, so you're already giving it your best. Your biggest advantage is that literally any famous person will be keen to film with you. That opens the door for tons of great collaborations. Just like this one. You could even get Tom Brady to come on for a quick sports chat. And you should definitely reach out to other big names as well. Here's another super easy idea. After each major match, just grab a mic and record a 5-minute podcast giving your take on the game. It's really low effort, but millions of fans will be eager to hear your thoughts. What's going through your head right then? You know how it is. I glanced at his entourage and had a sudden thought. Man, imagine if Ronaldo made a video reacting to his 10 greatest goals. That would be massive. That bicycle kick you scored. I've rewatched it at least 100 times. I'd genuinely love to know what made you decide to go for that kind of shot in that moment. That kind of clip would go viral. So my suggestion is keep it football focused. That's what people love you for. Then I brought up the 1 billion follower milestone. When you cross 1 billion followers across all channels, how did that sit with you as the planet's most followed individual? He stayed grounded. It's a nice achievement, but I wasn't really taken by surprise. I know how much my fans care about me, about football, about my career. So it didn't shock me. I'm happy, of course, but amazed? Not so much. That's exactly how I feel. I agreed. Whenever I reach a new milestone, my mindset is just, cool, what's next? People tell me to celebrate, but I'd rather keep moving forward and chase more records. He nodded, fully on board. I shifted to YouTube tips. When people get a video recommendation, there's that small preview image called the thumbnail. I've learned a few things about that. So let me share. He leaned in. Usually you put your face on it. But one key thing, in those shots, keep your mouth shut. I usually go with an open mouth. Viewers called it cringy. So close your lips, get some crisp, high-quality photos of your face, and your team can put them in the thumbnails. Got it, he said. You still need to show some emotion, of course. Like this. I gave a quick demo. But don't push it too far, or it'll look forced when thousands of people see it. I made a joke and pivoted. All right, next topic, kidding. Which country do you think has the wildest fans? South America, no question, he replied. Every trip there gets crazy. Once in Chile, fans surrounded our hotel and banged on every single door. I'm sure you've had similar stuff happen. We had to get out of that hotel. I've even been kicked out of places because the lobby was so packed with fans it caused chaos. That's mostly a South American thing. In the U.S., people are more relaxed. Maybe because big names from our scene don't go to South America very often. So when we do, it's a huge event. Where are you based now? I asked. North Carolina, a small town called Greenville. Good schools there. I practically live in my studio, I said. We have a big space for filming, and I sleep there too. Hardly ever step outside. It's pretty sad, honestly. I suppose you fly private all the time. Commercial flights can be rough. Yeah, I haven't taken a commercial flight in years. I'd pay good money to see you ride coach just once. You have to wear shades and pull your cap low to blend in. But man, that footage would be YouTube gold. I got carried away. Imagine him in Ray-Bans, secretly filming himself squeeze into an economy seat. Passengers and crew would queue up for selfies. No way to get a quiet moment. The whole plane would turn into a photo booth. Absolute chaos. I'm 39 now, and I'll be 40 in a few months, he noted. I'm aiming for 100. I laughed. In football, staying at this level at your age is already legendary. Most retire at 33 or 34. You're the LeBron James of soccer. That made him grin. So, when am I retiring? The answer is never. Not happening. Great. I'll probably still be filming when I'm 90 or 100. With technology advancing, I think we can slow down aging. So there's hope. What would you do after you stop playing? You can't kick a ball forever. Honestly, if I quit, what else would I do? Sit around watching TV? He countered. Maybe you could find another hobby or start something new. I just love building businesses. Running your channel, to me, is like running a company, and that feels good. Right then, a fly started buzzing around his face, nearly getting into his eye. I couldn't help joking. Even insects know who's a star. They've got to bother you. Someone's probably clipping this. Look, that fly is literally going for his eye. Seizing the moment, I shared some of my wildest stunts. I once buried myself alive for 7 days. No joke. I lay in a coffin, and the crew dumped 20,000 pounds of dirt on top. Stayed there for a full week, completely still. His eyes went wide. I wanted to authentically show what being a YouTuber really means. We had a time-lapse running the whole time, so everyone knew it was real. Was it as bad as it sounds? He asked. Worse. I couldn't move an inch for 7 days. And to top it off, a fly got trapped in there with me. I winced. So you really didn't move for a week? Not at all. When they dug me out, medics were on standby because of the blood clot risk. They had to check me before I could even stand. He asked, how did it mess with your head? Physically, the wooden floor wrecked my back. Absolutely brutal. But I've done plenty more. I went on. 7 days in solitary confinement. A padded room. No contact, no clock, no phone. That one was rough because the lights never turned off. No daylight. No sense of time. My brain craved stimulation. So I started counting wall tiles to pass the time. About 90 hours in, I was only halfway. The agony was unbearable. I showed him photos on my phone. Then there was a week on a deserted island. That nearly broke me. Also 7 days on a raft. 7 days in an abandoned underground city. And 7 days in a ghost town. My fans seem to love watching me suffer. The more miserable I am, the more they enjoy it. So I keep coming up with these punishing stunts. Weird, but they eat it up. Was the solitary confinement one the toughest? He asked. Probably the most draining. I turned to my colleague Tyler. Tyler, what do you think? Which video are you most proud of? He inquired. Hard to choose. I like each for different reasons, I said. But in terms of views, our real-life Squid Game recreation is the biggest. It's got 600 million. We put 100 people in a circle. The last one left $500,000 in the middle. They lasted for weeks. That clip has nearly 500 million views, which means about 4% of the global population has seen it. Mind-blowing. Oh, and this one, I pulled up another, once held a 24-hour view record on YouTube, and no one's beaten it since. We gathered the biggest creators on the planet, locked them in a giant glass cube, and announced, The last one out wins $1 million for one of their subscribers. It was like putting 50 top footballers in a room and making them compete. Instant fireworks. That video got 70 million views in one day, and people went crazy. He nodded approvingly. Did you follow any other sports? He asked me. Love basketball. I said, really? Watch it much. Not religiously, but I love watching Steph Curry drain half-court threes. Unreal. I marveled. LeBron play with his son. That's incredible. Have you ever thought about doing that in football? Maybe, he smiled. My son is 14 now. If everything works out, maybe when he's 17 we could try. 3 more years. We'll see if my legs can handle it. He glanced aside. He's actually sitting right over there. We could ask him directly. He knows way more about YouTube than I do. He's the expert. He noticed my water bottle. I hear that's your own brand? Correct, I confirmed. My rule is simple. Quality comes first, whether it's water or supplements. If a product is top-notch, I'm happy to put my name on it. That's all. He nodded thoughtfully, then asked, how do you deal with all the attention? I mean, how do you unwind? Probably just like you. I work all the time, so there's barely any time to think about it. Honestly, I don't go out much. This is your first time in Saudi, right? He said. Here's an open invitation. Pick any game you want, bring your crew, and come during Riyadh season. It's our biggest and most exciting event. Who's your main rival, Al Hilal? I asked. Exactly, he confirmed. When's your next match against them? We should plan it. Next month, and then the second leg. If you come, I promise you'll enjoy it. Saudi is a great country, he said warmly. Well, if I do come, you better get a win. I joked, giving him a playful challenge. Consider it done, he promised. So, whenever you're ready, you're more than welcome. I'll be waiting. Thanks, man. Really appreciate that. I said sincerely. How did you feel when my channel first dropped? I opened with that, and he fired back immediately. Honestly, I figured you'd land somewhere between 20 and 30 million subs in your opening month. And that would have been a solid debut. But you came out with 60. The previous monthly best was 20 million. We own that. So when you posted 60, I was genuinely shocked. That was next level. How long did it take you to get to that 60 million mark? I pressed. He grinned. Probably about 13 years. Yeah, that's the time it took. So, any chance I'll surpass you down the road? He considered it for a second. That's really up to you and the direction you take. If you start bringing in other big football names for joint videos, or if you react to your own most memorable moments on the pitch, I think that would kill it. Once you get into a good groove, you can put out some amazing work, though it'd be a different style from your usual stuff. And I'm not trying to top your numbers, honestly. You're already at 1 billion across all platforms. My own ambition is 1 billion YouTube subscribers. I know it'll take ages. We're at 320 million now. I asked him, do you actually watch my content? Of course, what do you think? I carried on. Look, you're still playing professionally with a hectic schedule, so you're already doing your best. Your real advantage is that basically any celebrity will be willing to film with you. That means you've got endless possibilities for great collaborations, just like this one. You could even bring Tom Brady in for a quick sports segment, and you should definitely get other big names involved. Here's another simple idea. After each big game, just pick up a microphone and record a 5-minute podcast sharing your reactions. Super low effort, but millions would love to hear your take. What were you thinking in that moment? You know, I glanced at his crew and had a thought. Bro, imagine Ronaldo sitting down and reviewing his top 10 goals. That would be enormous. That bicycle kick you scored, I've watched it at least 100 times. I'd genuinely like to know what went through your head when you decided to go for that. That kind of video would explode. So my advice is to stick with football themes. That's what fans really want. Then I shifted to the billion-follower question. When you cross 1 billion followers everywhere, how did that land with you? As the most followed person alive, he stayed cool. It's a good achievement, but I wasn't surprised. I know how passionate my supporters are about me, about football, about my career, so it didn't shock me. I'm happy, sure, but amazed? Not really. That's exactly how I am. I said, every time I hit a milestone, I just think, cool, onward. People say I should celebrate, but I'd rather keep pushing for more. He nodded in agreement. Then I switched to YouTube tricks. When a video gets recommended, you see that little preview image, the thumbnail. I've got some tips, so listen up. He leaned in. Usually you put your face there. But one rule, in those shots, keep your mouth closed. I used to do open mouth. Viewers hated it. Called it cringy. So close your mouth. Get some sharp, clear headshots, and your team can pop them onto thumbnails. Got it, he said. You still need some expression. Like this? I demonstrated. But don't overdo it, or it'll seem fake with thousands watching. I cracked a joke and moved on. All right, next, just playing. Which country has the most insane fans? South America. Hands down, he replied. Every visit is wild. Once in Chile, fans surrounded our hotel and pounded on every door. I'm sure you've had similar chaos. We had to evacuate. I've even been kicked out of places because fans packed the lobby and caused disruptions. That's mostly South America. In the U.S., people are calmer. Maybe because big names from our world rarely go to South America. So when we do, it's a massive deal. Where are you based now? I asked. North Carolina, a tiny town, Greenville. Good schools. I basically live in my studio, I said. We got a big filming space, and I sleep there too. Barely leave. Kinda depressing. I guess you fly private all the time. Commercial flights must be painful. Yeah, I haven't been on a commercial flight in years. I'd pay to see you ride economy once. You'd have to wear shades and a cap to hide, but that footage would be pure YouTube gold. I got excited. Imagine him in Ray-Bans, secretly filming himself and coach. Passengers and crew would line up for selfies. He'd never get a quiet moment. The whole plane would become a photo op, absolute madness. I'm 39, turning 40 soon, he noted. I'm shooting for 100. I laughed. In football, staying at your level at this age is legendary. Most retire at 33 or 34. You're the LeBron James of the sport. That made him smile. So when do I retire? Never. Not happening. Great. I'll probably still be making videos at 90 or 100. With tech advancing, we can slow aging, so there's hope. What would you do after retiring? Can't play forever. Honestly, if I stopped, what else would I do? Watch TV? He countered. Maybe you could start another hobby or venture. I just enjoy building businesses. Running your channel feels like managing company, and that's satisfying. At that moment, a fly buzzed around his face, nearly hitting his eye. I couldn't help joking. Even flies know you're famous. They have to annoy you. Someone's probably clipping this. Look, that fly is going straight for his eye. I took the chance to share my craziest stunts. I once buried myself alive for 7 days. No joke. I lay in a coffin, and the crew put 20,000 pounds of dirt on top. Stayed there for a full week, unmoving. His eyes widened. I wanted to show what being a YouTuber really costs. We had a time-lapse running, so everyone knew it was real. Was it awful? He asked. Worse. I couldn't move at all for 7 days, and a fly got trapped in with me. I winced. So you really didn't move? Not once. When they dug me out, medics were on standby for blood clots. They checked me before I could stand. He asked, how did it mess with you mentally? Physically. The wooden floor wrecked my back, brutal. But there's more, I went on. 7 days in solitary, a padded room, no contact, no clock, no phone. That was rough because the lights never went off. No daylight, no sense of time. My brain craved stimulation. So I counted wall tiles. 90 hours in, I was only halfway. The agony was unbearable. I showed him photos. Then 7 days on a deserted island. Nearly broke me. Also 7 days on a raft, in an underground city and in a ghost town. My fans love watching me suffer. The worse I feel, the more they enjoy it. So I keep dreaming up these punishing challenges. Weird, but they love it. Was solitaire the hardest? He asked. Probably the most draining. I turned to my colleague Tyler. Tyler, what do you think? Which video are you most proud of? He asked. Hard to say. I like each differently, I said. But by views, our real-life Squid Game recreation is biggest. 600 million. We put 100 people in a circle. The last one left won $500,000 in the middle. They lasted weeks. That clip has nearly 500 million views. About 4% of the world's population has seen it. Mind-boggling. Oh, and this one, I pulled up another, once held a 24-hour view record on YouTube. Still unbroken. We got the biggest creators on the planet. Locked them in a giant glass cube and said, the last one out wins $1 million for one of their subscribers. It was like putting 50 top footballers in a room to compete. Instant fireworks. That video got 70 million views in a day, and people went nuts. He nodded approvingly. Do you follow other sports? He asked me. Love basketball. I said, really? Watch it often? Not religiously, but I love seeing Steph Curry hit half-court threes. Unreal. I marveled. LeBron play with his son. That's amazing. Have you thought about doing that in football? Maybe, he smiled. My son is 14. If all goes well, maybe when he's 17 we could try. 3 more years. We'll see if my legs hold up. He glanced aside. He's right over there. We could ask him. He knows way more about YouTube than I do. He's the expert. He noticed my water bottle. I hear that's your brand? Yes, I confirmed. My rule is simple. Quality comes first, whether water or supplements. If a product is top-notch, I'm happy to associate with it. That's it. He nodded thoughtfully, then asked, how do you handle all the attention? I mean, how do you relax? Probably like you, I work constantly, so there's no time to think. Honestly, I don't go out much. This is your first time in Saudi, right? He said. Here's an open invite. Pick any game, bring your crew, and come during Riyadh season, our biggest event. Who's your main rival, Al Hilal? I asked. Exactly, he confirmed. When's your next game against them? We'll plan it. Next month, and then the second leg. If you come, I promise you'll love it. Saudi is a great country, he said warmly. Well, if I come, you have to win. I joked, giving him a playful challenge. Consider it done, he promised. So, whenever you're ready, you're welcome anytime. I'll be waiting. Thanks, man. Really appreciate it. I said sincerely.